there, it's Karen here again. Today I'm starting this layout about my daughter's baby shower by recreating the bunting I made for her, which we had strung all across our living room. And so it's like a minuscule miniature version of the bunting that I made with using my silhouette. And luckily I had this bunting, this die set. It's an alphabet bunting die set. So I was able to recreate the words. It says Jenny's baby shower. And I'm just going to use my little sidekick machine here. You can see the little die cutting machine I have. I've used it quite often. And I'm going to cut out all of these letters using some scrap card that I had. I can do about four letters at a time. So as you can see, that's what I'm doing. I'm sorry I haven't been scrapbooking. I haven't been uploading for a few weeks. It's been a very, very busy time, partly because of the baby shower and all the preparations we had to make. We did the baby shower a couple of weeks ago and it went really well and it was a wonderful day. But the main reason I haven't been scrapbooking is about a week before I was diagnosed with diabetes, and it took me quite a while to get my head round of all the changes that I have to make, all the new medication I've got to take, and I just wasn't in the mood for scrapbooking for quite a while. I just found I couldn't concentrate on very much at all while I was processing. It took quite a while, and I'm still processing. I'm still getting used to the new regimes I have to kind of encompass into my daily life. So it's been quite a difficult time, but I really felt that getting back into scrapbooking and scrapbooking this occasion would really be a positive thing for me to do. So here I am, getting this layout down, and it made me feel a lot more positive about things, because now I'm really focusing on the future again, where with my granddaughter's due in about 3 weeks, and I wanted to get a few layouts, these layouts done before she arrives, because then I will put these at the beginning, this layout at the beginning of her album. It kind of shows, just before she arrived. So, and I'm backing the white bunting that I've die cut with some pink cardstock, so that it shows up against this paper. This is what I'm using here is a very old Scraptastic kit that I had, must be for at least a couple of years ago, if not longer, and it was called Sweet Child of Mine. So it was a baby kit, and there were some pink papers and some more aimed at boys, and this is a really, really pretty cloud paper with grey clouds on, and I thought it was just perfect for this, as it's for a baby shower paper. I can't remember who made it. I think it was probably from the Little You collection, I think, by Krate paper. I'm not absolutely sure about that, but I thought it was a really lovely background paper to use for the baby shower. You can see I've now made all my bunting. You can see the little set that I've got there on the left. I've managed to cut out all the letters I need, and I've backed them all with the pink cardstock, and I'm just laying it out on this paper to see how I can fit it all on. It's quite a lot to fit on, and it's going to be quite a tight fit. So I put it there, and it has just about fitted, but it does look a little bit crowded, and I've had to bring it down quite low on the page in order to fit it all on. So I'm trying just different ways of laying it out to see if I can make it work a bit better. And I do come up with another solution very shortly. I'm having a little think. And this was my solution. I'm going to make it a double page layout. I had lots of photos, and I thought, well, the best way to do this is to actually string the bunting right across the 2 pages. But I wanted the second page to be similar. I didn't have another sheet of the cloud paper, so I thought I'd make my own. So I had I've got a little cloud stamp. It's not quite the same shape, but it's close enough. And I didn't want it to be really dark, because the paper I already was using was quite a pale grey. So I'm just doing this, it was almost like shadow stamping. So I'm doing the darker stamping on a piece of scrap, and then when I've taken the most of the ink off, then I'm stamping on the paper. It's just a piece of plain white card, and I had a couple of little vellum clouds in my kit, this Scraptastic kit I was using. So I thought I'd pop those on as well. So the paper's not identical, but it goes really well with the other one, and it does make it more of a double page spread then. And now I'm going to put the 2 pages together so I can spread out this bunting between the two pages. I'm not going to do it completely in the middle. I don't want it to be completely symmetrical because the 2 pages won't be identical. So it didn't make sense to have a completely symmetrical, and I didn't want to break the word baby up. So I've done Jenny's baby on one side and then shower on the other. And on the bunting I made for the actual shower, that we hung up, between the words, I had also cut out a little onesie shape just to break up the words. So I've done that again, but in miniature this time. You can see it, there it is, little tiny onesies. It's really, really cute, and that's actually what I did on the real bunting. So I thought I'll recreate it completely. And I'm just doing a line there where I'm going to put my twine. I've got some pink and white twine that I'm going to use to stick across the page, and that'll be where the bunting will hang from. So I'm just laying it up roughly and cutting it to shape, and then I'm going to I should do each page one at a time and follow that line, the pencil line that I've drawn. So I'm just doing it upside down so I can see what I'm doing more clearly. I've got better control of it if I'm right on top of it. I've had to take my glasses off because at the moment the diabetes is making my eyes a bit blurry, so I can only see what I'm doing when I'm taking my glasses off, which is a bit daft, but they'll settle down in a few weeks hopefully, and I'll be back to normal seeing what I'm doing. But I can see well enough to scrapbook, but anything close up, and for some reason I'm having to take my glasses off to read and write and all that kind of thing, which is a bit daft, but I can manage. So I thought so I can see more clearly where I'm putting this line. It's quite a thin line of glue, and then I've just stuck the twine to it, and I'm just going to do the piece on the other page. Because I'm doing these 2 bits together, that's one of the reasons this video is a little bit longer than I usually make. I usually try to keep them to under 15 minutes, but because I'm doing almost 1.5 layouts in one go, I couldn't get it any shorter and show you what I was doing without making it look a bit too busy. So I thought I've just done that and put the 2 back together so to show that they do join up, and I put the two bits of cardstock back together, and it does go quite well and joins up nicely in the middle, so I'm quite pleased with that. And I'm just going to use my tiny attacher just to attach the end bits and give it a little tail either end. Just folding it over and clipping it into place. So you can't quite see it, just slightly off camera there, but you can see there I've just put a little stapler in, and then I'm just laying down my bunting, sticking it on with the little onesie in between the words. So all of the I made 3 different banners and sets of banners and bunting, and I am actually going to manage to recreate all of them in miniature on these two pages, which I'm quite pleased how they turned out, as the silhouette has really come into its own over these last few weeks doing all this stuff for the baby shower. So now the first page, I'm going to concentrate on this first layout now, just showing that there's some pictures there of the that's the napkins that we used. I'm going to cut that out. So there's a picture of me and my 2 daughters, and I had a lovely little sash saying "Nanny to be," which a friend of mine bought for me, which was lovely. And then you can see the bunting, or the little banner that I made over the fireplace. That's all little elephants in a row. And then there's the table with all the cakes on it as well, and the nappy cake that a friend of Jenny's made, which is amazing. It was fantastic. I've never seen one of those before. I've never been to a baby shower before. So I'm just using this napkin. I thought it would kind of be nice little extra embellishment for the page, because elephants turned out to be a bit of the theme for the whole baby shower with the bunting that I made, because Jenny really loves elephants, and so that seemed appropriate. And we also had matching plates with elephants on as well. And I just thought I'd stick. It was quite tricky to stick this on. It's very, very thin. It's like very thin tissue paper, this napkin, because I took the backing off. But I didn't really want it to be too thick, and it's quite see-through there. And it's a bit tricky to stick down, but I did manage to get it to stick, and I quite like that sitting in the corner. Just says baby shower, and it just went. The colours went. There's a fair amount of pink at the page, but I didn't want it to be over the top pink. Don't use a great deal of pink in my layouts usually, but I shall certainly be using some more in the near future, I imagine. So this was some of the paper from that Scraptastic Sweet Child of Mine kit. Really pretty pink bows on this paper, which I really liked. And you can see that doily there. It's one I cut out a while ago from the silhouette. I cut out a little variety of little set of doilies and different shapes, and that was one I had in my stash, so I thought I'd use that. That was really pretty. And then I'm backing these other two pictures with some minty paper, which was from the kit as well. Some minty green, just a little bit of backing. So that's the one picture of the fireplace with the elephant bunting, and there's a picture of the table with all the cakes and the nappy cake on it and everything, and then a slightly enlarged picture of the nappy cake as well. So I thought it was worth recording that. It was beautifully done by Jenny's friend. Right, so they're just going to tuck under the bunting there, and the picture of me and the girls is going to go at the bottom next to the little elephant holding his umbrella. And just tuck it in there. And I cut out another little elephant from the napkin, which is also going to go next to the photo at some point. Right, so now I've decided I'm going to recreate another banner. I don't know if you can see on the photograph, but we had a whole load of balloons above the window looking like clouds, and then I'd hung a string of hearts underneath, which we got the idea from Pinterest. And I've made the hearts using my silhouette machine with loads of, you can see one of those hearts there, that's the size they were. So I'm recreating that with little tiny hearts, which I'm going to hang down the page. And I'm just punching out a load of hearts from those leftover larger hearts in the different colours. These are all the colours that we used for the ones actually that we hung from the window. And it was just hung on a piece of cord and tied to the curtain rail and hung down behind the balloons. So what I did was, as you see with the pencil, draw a line down, which is going to represent the string. And then I went over it, which I'll do in a moment, with a pen. What I did forget to do was rub off, you'll see in the stills at the end, I forgot to rub off the pencil mark, so I will do that afterwards. But I forgot to do it when I finished the layout. So there we go, I'm using a grey pen, because I thought grey was a better colour to use, not quite as dark as a black one, to do my little string that I'm going to be attaching the hearts to. And then I'm just going to stick the hearts going down the page. I'm going to do, as you can see, I've just laid them out. There's going to be 3 strings of hearts that are going to hang between the photographs. I'm just laying them on. So I just keep hanging down. I'm just trying to get a little selection of colours there. Well, a little set of pastel ice cream colours, really, I suppose. Now I'm just going to start sticking them down. Now I've got them where I like them. I had so much fun making all these banners. I've been working on them for weeks before the baby shower, and they really worked out well. I was really pleased. We had the big, the bunting with the words on all across the living room wall, and then these strings of hearts. They were so effective, hanging over the behind the table where all the food was. We did it as an afternoon tea, so we had lots of cakes. A lot of the girls who came brought cakes. And we had sandwiches and scones, and it was really lovely. So there we are. I've stuck most of the hearts down now. You can see they're just in little strings hanging behind the photographs. And then stuck the little elephant down that I cut out of the paper napkin. And I thought it looked a bit bare at the top there. There's quite a big space at the top, and I thought I need to put a little something up there. So I found a couple more clouds that were in the kit. I'm just trying to make a little mini cluster, really, just to kind of fill that space a little bit, make it look a bit less bare. I'm not very good at blank space, as you may have noticed if you watched any other of my videos. I don't really like white space. So I just had a couple of little clouds and a couple of stars and a little acrylic heart, and that just seemed to fill that space nicely. And then I was using this, there's another piece of paper from the kit, and on the back of it was like a sheet of ledger that I'm going to use for my journaling. But first I found a couple of labels, so I thought I'd put a couple of labels on those photographs so that I can explain what they are. And one just says that it's Kerry's amazing nappy cake, and the other one is just saying that that's the elephant banner that I made. And that's why that photo's there. I was very pleased with my little elephant banner. That was one of the first things I made, and they were so cute. So that's all stuck down, and now I'm just doing my am I doing my journaling? Yes, I found this piece of lined paper was on the back of one of the sheets of cardstock in the kit, so I've used that to write my journaling, and then I'm going to cut it into strips and adhere it to the top of the page just in strips. And some of the strips will go on this layout, and then there will be a few that I will save for the second layout, which I will upload as a separate process video. So there we are. The journaling is just laid there just to see how it looks. And I'm just going to finding a few little extra embellishments for the big photo. There's just a word that was in a pot that I keep lots of bits and pieces in, and that just says loved, and that the colours went quite well with the rest of the photo, so I just thought I'd put that there. Just going to tuck it under that photo. And I've also got a flare badge, which was in the Scraptastic kit, so I thought I'd pop that in that corner there as well. Just holding it in place. It took a bit of sticking. It took a little while for it to actually stay stuck, but it did in the end. Now I'm going to stick the strips of journaling up the top there in a row beneath each other. And now the final little touch is some little sequins in matching all those pinky peachy colours. So I've stuck those down just around the photo, and that's the end of the layout. So thank you for joining me again. I'm sorry it's been so long, but please join me again soon, because the second layout will follow quite soon afterwards. Bye.